Hey, welcome to the Good Life where life is always good. My name is Kurt, and today I have a bit of a surprise. I don't know if it's a surprise or not, but um, change is happening, and just kind of want to give you guys a little update on that. This pertains to my garden. We're in the process of looking for another home. So, with that being said, we are moving. Um, I've had a lot of conversations with myself. I don't know if that's good or bad, but who cares? Um, but I'm trying to decide what to do or how to move a garden, which I kind of knew this was coming, and that's why I did not um, have more of the raised flower beds built. So that's why I put my carrots, tomatoes. What else I got over there? And jalapenos um, in buckets because I kind of knew that this was coming. But with the actual flower bed, I did not give up on it, but it was not. I didn't feel it was necessary to go all in with the possibility um, of us moving. And through this whole process, I really learned a lot about gardening, and I have realized some of the mistakes that I have made. So when it's time to do the when I'm getting prepared to go into late summer into early fall, that growing process is going to be different because of some of the things that um, I learned. I don't think when I was doing the lasagna method, I don't think that I properly did it correctly. Uh, I on my lower level, I put a bunch of old leaves, and I believe the leaves affected the way um, it affected my soil in a negative way. Yeah, I put some sticks down there. I had coffee grinds. I had orange peels, apple peels, banana peels. I had everything down there, but I think my problem was with the leaves. Going forward, I'm still going to do the lasagna method, but I'm going to use more. I'm going to use things. I'm going to use more compost. A, I'm gonna use a couple logs, some tree limbs, some sticks, anything that I can find. I'm going to get away from using the any leaves unless I don't know. I thought the leaves would be okay, but I just think that there was something in those leaves that prevented my soil from being nutrient, if that makes any sense. So um, it's been I've actually been a little frustrated through this whole process just because, as you know, you see things on TV and just a moment of transparency. I'm thinking to myself, oh, well, this is easy, and it's not. So I haven't given up on that sense. I haven't given up on what I have in in my buckets. I just feel that the tomatoes and the jalapenos and maybe even the carrots should be. Um, I should start to see some fruit by now. I I put this stuff in the buckets and in the ground in March, and I haven't seen much success from them. My potatoes, I believe I'm probably about maybe a month away from harvesting the potatoes. I don't know what's in the bucket right now. I hope when I dump the bucket, I have, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 pounds of potatoes, and nice sized potatoes I can make potatoes with. I don't know. That's the beauty of gardening, is what you put in the dirt. You don't know what you're going to get. Um, Next time I'm going to use more, things like um, blood meal. I'm going to try different. I'm going to try different fertilizer. Um, I'm going to attempt at making a compost, but I can't do all of that kind of stuff until we actually move. Now the things that I have in there now, like I have some marigold, I have some zinnias that are starting to come up. I have some radish. We're probably about a month away from moving. So with the stuff that's in the dirt, especially the flowers, I'm probably just gonna put those in a bucket, or in a few buckets. Something I'm going to do also next time, with my herbs and maybe even some other items. I'm going to get me a green stalk tower. This is not a paid advertisement or anything like that. Hopefully one day. But I do want to do some tower gardening. I just love to see the flow of the different, mint and basil, and you can grow tomatoes in them, do watermelon, uh, do cabbage. I've seen there are probably about 50 to 60 different items that you can grow in those. So I'm going to invest in one of those next year. Next planting season. I do love the containers. I'm going to also do some growing in grow bags. I've seen those and I like those. I'm not giving up on my raised bed, but maybe in the fall, I'll pick one item. I don't know, something that grows at time of year. I'm not sure if onions do or not. I think so. I'm not sure, but I'll just do one item in the whole bed. Now, I well probably two items, because I want to do some companion growing. Um, but yeah, that's the update on my garden. I kind of had to slow down what I wanted to do originally, because I wasn't sure about the move. Now everything's pretty much confirmed on that. We're still looking for a place. This housing market is insane right now, and I don't know if you can see in my background, the reflection off the window. You can actually see the raised garden, and I have 2 orange and 2 white buckets out there off the reflection. Another problem. I haven't seen pollinators. I haven't seen the bees. Haven't seen the butterflies, and maybe that's part of my problem also with my tomatoes and jalapenos. I just haven't seen them, and I I don't know. I know next spring I'm going to do. Oh, there's a wasp. Next spring I am going to plant more things from plant, especially tomatoes, because tomato is a long process, and I just want tomatoes. So I'm going to try that. Um, Maybe jalapenos also. I would love next spring to grow um, watermelons. I'm not sure about things like squash just because well, and watermelons, they make lots of long vines. But I definitely want to do a watermelon next year. I'm not sure of the type. I have an idea, but when that time comes, I will definitely have my mind made up, and I will walk you guys through the process. I think one major thing, well, outside of the soil, I do think that a lot of my stuff went through transplant shock and didn't recover from it. I had heard of plant transplant shock, but I did not research beforehand to find out, okay, what do I need to do in case I get transplant shock? Especially with my tomatoes, because I had like 5 tomatoes, and the only ones that's looking half decent is the one in the bucket. You know, we have gotten a lot of rain here over the last month, so that part wasn't a problem with my watering because we got lots of rain. But I do think that I don't want to break it down to numbers, but maybe 20% of my problem was transplant shock, and my plants and my tomatoes did not recover from that. Because my original plan when I started this gardening was to grow tomatoes and peppers, and I picked those because I love to make pico. And then I thought, ooh, cilantro. I don't know what happened to my cilantro. So this is just so many little things. 'Cause like I've said before, this is my first time gardening, and whenever you garden, things happen. And I was watching a video a little earlier, and this young lady said that there's no such thing as not having a green thumb, and I think something as simple as that, something that I needed to hear, that because anyone can grow, and there are people who have been successful the first time that they put something in the ground, and there are people who have struggled for a few years, but they kept going, and by no way am I giving up on this, because I do want a fruitful garden, and I want to be able to go out in the backyard and grab some tomatoes, cilantro, peppers, and make some pico or grab some tomatoes to make a salad. And I do have some basil that looks good, but I bought the basil from plant. So I do think next year, well, yeah, I guess that will be next year, I am going to do a lot of growing from plant. I'm going to go through the whole process of germination with some things, but that's going to be more on a try to correct some of the things that I did wrong on this year. I do think that I let some of my tomatoes get too long in the starter trays. I mean, they were long and they got leggy. What they probably should have already been on step 2, putting them in a cup. And so I was a little late. And I want to have a whole setup in the garage, where I have the grow lights on. I didn't do any of that. I was learning and experimenting, and all at the same time. So there's definitely going to be a change in my process. But I'm excited that I'm not giving up on gardening. I love it. It became something that I actually look forward to coming home every day and seeing what God has done. You know, the hours that I was at work, or I would get up in the morning and I would go make me a coffee, and I would come outside with the water hose and I would water. And so when I came home, I was gonna take the camera out there and do a little garden tour, but I don't think it's necessary. Uh, Probably when we get ready to move, I will do the potatoes, and I'll make a video with that. At this point here, I don't know if I'm going to get tomatoes or peppers. Now they do have flowers on them, so that is an encouraging sign. But I'm not getting pollinators, and my coworker told me that there was a that she was having the same issue with pollinators, and then all of a sudden one day she came home and um, and there were bees in her garden. So yeah, it can happen any day. I haven't seen a butterfly in a few days. Well, actually, a couple weeks now, to be honest. There was usually a white butterfly that would fly around, and there was a yellow one that would hang out over there. Um, but once we get moved, and I'm going to prepare myself and get me a list of things that I want to do in late summer and to the early fall and to winter. And I'm going to speak it into existence. I'm going to have a great next gardening season. Probably when I get off of here, I'm going to go to the store, find me something to cook for dinner. My wife and kids are in Canada, so I have been home alone since Wednesday. So, and I took off on, well, I was off on Thursday because of Juneteenth, and then I took off Friday. So I've had a lot of time to myself, and I've done some reading and just had a chance to do some reflecting, just going through the mental exercises of of life and marriage and my relationship with God. And I think I'm in a better headspace today. I've started to work out more, and I say work out. I haven't done any weights, but I've done the rower a few times, and I have gone for 2.5 mile walks. So I've been active. I'm Now we do have the Apple Fitness, so that's where I've done my rowing, but probably in the morning I'm going to get up and do either a strength or a core exercise before I go to work. I'm getting my body and my mind ready for football. I start football. I'm an official. I start football mid-August. So from mid-August to November, I pretty much going to be on the football field 4 to 5 times a week. So I'm just preparing myself. It's going to be I told myself yesterday, it's going to be a dogfight, the next few months, because we are going on a cruise in January. So I'm going to bust my ass during football season, and then November, I'm going to start basketball, and I'm going to do basketball from November until February, officiating. So just preparing for the cruise, paying for the cruise, buying items to go on the cruise, and then have some money to be on the cruise. I'm going to put my work in. So just having this time to reflect and prepare myself mentally and physically for what I'm about to um, put myself through. Now, I have learned, because this is my 19th season doing football, so I'm learned that I'm not young anymore. I'm 54 years old, turned 55 in January, so I can't just go 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 go. So I will have some time in there when I won't do football like a certain week. I won't do it. Now I'm gonna do it every Friday night, but I may take off Monday and Tuesday, and then go at it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday morning get up and go do Pee Wee football. So, and Sunday is my day to just say, hey, I'm not doing anything. Um, do have season tickets for the Cowboys. Made a conscious decision last year. Well, that sucked. I guess my phone got too hot and cut off on me. So I just want to get on here and give a proper ending. Thank you for watching The Good Life, where life is always good. If you could give me a like, subscribe, and comments. I reply to all comments. And thank you for watching. And I have another podcast coming out. It's going to be a pure Dallas Cowboy related YouTube channel. I will promote it more on my next video, and I will let you know when I will launch that one. So if you are a Cowboys fan, I will give you that. And I will probably put it in the description, but I will promote it more on the next time that I post a video. So thank you for watching, and have a good day, and peace out.